Hey there, welcome back to our kitchen. I'm Jenny, this is Casey, and we're two of Festival's Mealtime Mentors. Today we are baking up a classic comfort dish.
Yes, we are. We're making cheesy scalloped potatoes.
I'm so excited. It already smells delicious in here.
Yes, it does. And that's because what we've already done is we're starting on our cream sauce. So we've melted some butter in our pan. We've added some onion and some garlic, and that's nice and cooked. The onion is nice and translucent now. So now I'm going to add in just some all-purpose flour and kind of whisk that together. This is going to really help our cream sauce to thicken up once we get to that point. And then, once we've got our onion and garlic nice and coated with this flour, I'm going to go ahead and add our chicken broth and kind of whisk that as it goes in. Thank you. You can already see that chicken broth kind of starting to get a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go in with our milk. We're just using regular non-fat milk today. You could certainly use whatever type of milk you would like.
That's just one way to kind of lighten up the recipe.
Yes. All right. I've got the milk in here. Thank you. And then I'm going to season this just with some salt and pepper and some fresh thyme leaves. Those fresh thyme leaves, I think, really add great flavor to this. Dried will work just fine, but yeah, the fresh adds some great flavor. So at this point, I'm just going to make sure this is all nice and whisked together, and then we're going to let this cook until it's just barely simmering. Don't let it come to a boil, so just barely simmering.
And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and finish up our potatoes. So we're just using Yukon Gold potatoes today and slicing them to about 1/8 of an inch thick. So we want them nice and thin so that they cook in the pan. Otherwise, you're going to have raw potatoes, and who wants that?
Right.
You can use a knife to cut. Today we're going to use a mandolin because it's a little faster, and you get those uniform cuts that way. We'll go ahead and finish slicing up our potato.
I think when I think about scalloped potatoes, like when I used to have them as a kid, I always was under the impression that it was like a really time-consuming and like very difficult thing to make, but I've learned that it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is basically just a simple cream sauce, some cheese, and potatoes.
Yes. All right, so potatoes are all sliced. I'm going to go ahead and get half of them into our 9x13 pan. We just sprayed it with a little bit of cooking spray so that the potatoes don't stick. Get a layer in here.
It's perfect timing with our cream sauce, too. It's just about to simmer, I think.
All right, so I'm going to spread these out so they're in an even layer. And then all the cream will kind of soak into those nooks and crannies. I'll scooch this over by you.
All right, I'm going to turn the heat off here. It's not going to be super thick right away, but it's definitely going to get there in the oven. Okay. So we're just going to pour about half of this into our potatoes. Perfect.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, and now we're going to spread about half of this cheese onto the potatoes. Oops, dropped a little bit.
Oh, yum. So today we're just using a pre-shredded cheese, which is totally fine. If you'd like to shred your own cheese, it might melt a little bit easier just because it doesn't have that anti-caking agent. But
this is a huge time saver.
It is, because these potatoes spend a lot of time in the oven just because we have to make sure that they're cooked through, so the cheese will melt.
Yes. And then we have some Parmesan for just a little bit of extra flavor.
Yum.
All right.
All right.
Now I'm going to get the rest of the potatoes in here.
Oh, yes. I'm getting too excited about the cream sauce here. It smells really good.
It is.
That thyme, again, just adds a whole other level of flavor.
Okay, so potatoes and then cream sauce.
Perfect.
Oh, this already looks so good.
Yes. Lots of, I like that the cream sauce, too, has those onions and garlic in here. Kind of adds some
Really
texture
great
to
flavor,
it.
yeah.
Yes. All right.
All right, and finish it off with some more of that cheese because you can never have enough cheese.
Agreed. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
All right, so at this point, we're just going to cover this with some aluminum foil. And then, oops, I'll take it back to the oven.
So the potatoes are going to bake at 400 for about 30 minutes, and then the sides of the sauce should be nice and bubbly. And then we're going to take that foil off and bake it for another like 25-ish minutes or until those potatoes are completely cooked through, and the top will be nice and brown. So we don't have all day, so we actually have one that's already done in case he's going to go ahead and grab that. But it is Absolutely beautiful.
Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
That looks really beautiful.
Yes. So to finish it off, we just want to put a little bit of fresh thyme on here, again, for like that fresh punch of flavor.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it looks so beautiful
It
too
does.
with that fresh thyme on there.
Okay, you ready to try it?
I definitely am. Ooh. Yeah, you can see that cream sauce really thickened up in there. It's got, especially when it mixed with the cheese, that all came together really nicely. Thank you. Mmm.
So rich, so creamy.
Yes. Great flavor in this.
Well, we hope you save cheese tonight with these cheesy scalloped potatoes.
And to get this recipe on your phone, text potatoes to 78402.
And for more recipes and resources from your mealtime mentors, visit festfoods.com.